know how we started. Until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. And I'll say that again. Well, folks, I said until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. Hello and welcome to the most opinionated hour on radio and the nation's thought-provoking hour. My name is Nana Ansakwa IV, Chief of the Little Republic of Akwemu Edumasa. It's a Monday, and welcome to another edition of That's My Opinion. Folks, even though I have a strong opinion on this subject, I will still need your help because I know there are authorities out there listening. And so save the numbers because, look, this is going to be a hot show and you definitely want to call in. And I'm hoping Dr. Emmanuel Akwete will call in this week too because this is right on his doorstep. 0302 216 541. Yes, save it. 0302 216-541, and then you send your WhatsApps to 0244 340 437 0244 340 437. Say good evening to Dr. Yao Okreku Irinchi. You're already tuned in. Eric Brobe, legal aid lawyer, you already tuned in. Valentine Atta, you're tuned in. Folks, our topic today is in opposition for power. In opposition for power. Now, it's a simple topic, but it's pregnant with serious concerns. Folks, let me cut straight to the topic and, spare you the usual stories. Folks, we are practicing a multi-party democracy, which means anyone can form a party if you are 18 years and above, and you meet certain criteria within the Constitution. If you happen to have anyone in the party who's also 40 and above, a Ghanaian by birth and sound mind, that person, can represent and run for president. And we have had some characters fit this bill who have indeed run for president. So that's the simple version of the system we have. That's the simple version of the system we have. In reality, folks, your party should not follow the rules to the letter because no party ever does. Currently in Ghana, we have 24 political parties, according to the EC. 24, yes. I asked Raymond, Dr. Google, and he says, yes, Nana, according to the EC, we have 24 parties. I didn't even bother counting how many I know and how many I don't know. Don't even know if I can, get more than 6 off the top of my head. Folks, but, the two big ones dominate the scene. And since 1992, they have rotated leading the country. We, on the other hand, just love to hate them, but that's what we have. Or maybe, folks, that's what we deserve. In opposition for power. In opposition for power. Now, we have to be open and be frank on this issue. Folks, it's as though the number one role of every opposition party is to regain power. It is as though the number one role, top priority for any opposition party is to regain power. Folks, so as soon as the party goes into opposition, 7th January, new president is sworn in, maximum 1 week, campaign starts. That's the maximum. And I'm exaggerating. Campaign starts. Folks, in 2016, 7th January, I think, fell on a Thursday. By Monday, 11th January, communicators were on radio to start talking down the newly sworn-in party and its leaders. Meanwhile, the government has not even started work. So it was all about plagiarism and bad choice of attire, and didn't wear the cloth well, and handing over note was giving. No, it was not giving. The heat was on. Bring the car. I won't bring it because I bought it. Move out of the house. No, I won't move out. Not yet. And then big, until real elections come again. I remember when the Supreme Court was hearing the case, the matter of the Pink Sheet saga. And those in the NPP believed that it would swing their way. While the court was sitting, the media too was sitting, and we followed the case with keen interest. We had things like amicus curiae. We were all being educated. We had diplomas in law degrees by the time the case was finished. And when the court declared that JM and the NDC would remain in power, indeed, I felt sorry for the NPP communicators. They had another 3.5 years to talk down the government, which will make a total of 8 years, hacking down, talking down, punching holes, all at a cost. Folks, at all costs, they had to come to power. Nana-Addo wouldn't be able to run for a 4th time. The communicators were broke and tired. It's been 8 years. And literally every day apart from Sunday, from radio to TV to radio to funeral to festival to events, all year round, with one motive: let's get back to the Jubilee House. One motive: let's get back into the Jubilee House. Folks, this is done at high expense, and it's not free. At some point, somebody has to pay. But the battle was the Lord's, and so it came to pass. The battle was the Lord's, so it came to pass. Folks, as I said, the tables were turned, and since 11th January 2017, the NDC guys have not slept. They have to get back into the Flagstaff House. Now, bear in mind, the name changes depending on, who's at the seat of government. The name will change, either Flagstaff House or Jubilee House. It's not consistent. It's depending on who is there. Sometimes I feel the party also wanting power seems a bit more aggressive than those who have already gotten power. But what I want to talk about, and this goes to all parties that find themselves in opposition. All parties that find themselves in opposition. So basically, I'm ranting about the characteristics of parties when they are in opposition. It's the big question I want to find out is getting power back all that the opposition needs? We need to get our power back. It's the main objective of the opposition. Just let's get our power back. Now, this desperate hunger from opposition parties is a great contributor to this vigilante menace that we are left to deal with. And unfortunately, we are the ones that, bear the brunt. Another culture resulting from opposition's desperation is where something happens. And it could be anything from rainfall to bad fish harvest, petty crime to bad supervision, choked gutters to crude prices. It's all the fault of the president and his party. Folks, I'm sure there's a quick check in the morning by opposition parties as to which side has the government taken on any issue that has propped up. And once it's established that, then, they take the other side. In fact, most of the times it's just ridiculous. But what is more ridiculous is you go onto social media, onto Facebook, and educated people too have taken political sides on the subject that should be looked at as a national problem rather than a party problem. The people that you think that, no, this guy should know better. Folks, even things that sometimes both parties are usually guilty of, without any shame, we take sides. And and then the references will start. How about what happened in June? What happened in February? What happened in that place? What happened in this place? And then the references will start. Folks, the interesting one is, when you go, hook onto Ghana Web. Oh my God, oh my days. If you go through some of the comments, sometimes I wonder if they are Ghanaians or some foreigners who just want the world to know that we are stupid. And so they put those comments there just to embarrass us. I mean, I still can't believe that those insulting comments are from Ghanaians. Our own Ghanaians. Could be anything. And they just come in, boom, insult somebody's mother, father, and family. And you wonder, why? I know we have issues, but I mean, such foolishness, I'm sure it's from outsiders who are jealous of us and are trying to, embarrass us. But on the subject of that, I mean, I was complaining about my roads. And so I put it on my Facebook. And I was saying that during the NDC time, when I was jumping up and down about the road, I was tagged as being MPP because I'm complaining during JM Style. Now Nana is there, the road is still not done, and I'm complaining. So I guess then now I may be NDC. So I put it on my wall. And there's a guy called Ishe Egan, I-S-H-Y Egan, E-G-H-A-N. Just comes on my wall and said, what a stupid Nana. And that I deserve that road. I mean, he came and right on my wall. Nana, how can you be so stupid? You deserve that road. And I'm thinking, well, Ishe Egan, maybe some of the comments we read on Ghana Web. So the anger and how we think, I beg we have to call it the Ishe Egan thinking. However, while the parties in opposition is moving heaven and earth, there's a majority of us who are, supporting and urging them on to regain power. We, the ordinary citizens, it looks as if our also main objective is that Party A or Party B should either stay in power or should regain power. Maybe because we don't trust the system to work for us. And so at every given time, we rather have our people there. So when we need help or when we need the system to work, at least we know somebody there. Maybe it's trust of the system. But folks, in all honesty, how are we benefiting from such opposition or minority parties? They are too busy wanting power. So all the things that they hint on are things to discredit, create disaffection for government so that they can regain power. And in the meantime, we the citizens lose out big time. Where are the alternative policies? Where is the education on complex matters of government broken down for us to understand? Where are the research work? Because now you have time, by balancing any budget. So where are the hardcore research data to come and feed us? How many 8-year-olds are in Eastern Region? How many 10-year-olds are in Boga? I mean, you should have all this data by now. Alternative forums on sectors of government. The opposition should give us, say today we are looking at health, sit down and give us, some of the problems you saw when you were there, what you think should be done in plain English. Folks, the most important aspect is credibility. And the next one is credibility. And the final and last, the most optimus one is more credibility. So that when the opposition speaks, we don't doubt it. We pay attention so that the government will shake anytime the opposition says they're going to speak. Opposition party should aspire to attain credibility at all costs. With the same venom they want power, they should use the same venom to get credibility for themselves so that when they speak, that, hey, but here we are. Clearly, you can't let the party in power chop, for more than one term because you have been there and you know how sweet it is. And so you know what they are chopping. It's a man that apparently was leaving home. It was about 8 p.m., looks in his pocket and his condoms are missing and he's shouting, something is missing from my pocket. Something is, and they're asking, what is missing? And he's just saying, something is missing. And that's how the opposition act Because because when you were there, you were also chopping. So you just said, look, it's time, just get out so that we also come there. So because something is missing from your pocket. You know how sweet it is? The focus is not for a shadow, for good governance. No. So folks, sometimes and maybe too many times when opposition comes out with a statement, you think, my God, full of exaggerations, extremes, and pettiness. So the import of the statement gets lost. People start punching holes and soon the matter becomes, it is reduced to political fencing. Soon it becomes a political fencing game because it's been exaggerated, stretched to thy kingdom come. And the import, even though there was something in there that we should have paid attention to, it gets lost. Folks, it's very rare for opposition to issue a statement to say we side with government on this particular issue. We think it's a good idea and that we are here to support government in any which way to make this thing a success. So that we as citizens will know that, okay, as for this policy, both houses of the houses are siding with it. So we, the people, are coming with it. Because for every policy or something to succeed, we, the people, should be carried along. We should be, and sometimes we don't know what is the truth. One side is coming out and saying that categorically it is white. The other comes and says, we swear God, it's black. And we are here, we are sitting, so is it white or is it black? What do we do? The majority of us just don't go with it. But maybe, if it's truth, and the opposition came out and said, look, this is the truth, let's go with it, we shall all join in. But the opposition's aim is not to create good governance, it's to also get the opportunity to win power. So folks, sometimes when it gets so blatant, where the opposition can't oppose, you hear the opposition saying, oh well, we started it anyway, so we want the credit. And then the focus of an otherwise good policy is reduced to who thought about it first. Now, how do we make the minority or opposition work to our benefit? How do we make them bring out alternative policies, even alternative budgets? After the budget is read, instead of only coming back and rubbishing it, let's hear a better budget. How would you have planned it? Tell us. And just take your time. No insults, in plain English. Open our eyes so that we back you and give government the pressure. So in order we all get that good governance we're looking for. But at the moment, just like, this excited Egan who wrote on my Facebook, we have all taken our stance. Maybe, not as low as Egan, but we are unable to think without bringing our party first. It's impossible for us to think about Ghana without thinking of our party first. Now, one professor sent me a message asking, Dadana, do we have a democracy or an electoral fallacy? Folks, how do we make the opposition party work for us? And I'm also putting the question to you. Do we have a democracy or an electoral fallacy? 0302216541. Okay, so who's going to be my first caller as to how it is that we get the opposition to work for us? And if indeed we have a democracy or just some phantom voting game. One in, one out. Okay, who's my first caller?
Please, good evening. This is Ernest from Dansuma.
Ernest, talk to me.
Thank you for this topic.
Politicians just want to come to power, divide the world, and the person
Oh, I'm losing you there, Ernest.
Hello, can you hear me, please?
No, your line is really cracking up.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Is it okay?
No, your line is really cracking up, Ernest. Sorry. Try and call back. Let me hear what your opinion is on this matter. It's 0302 216 541. Let me hear you. Okay, who's calling?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, Abu Muhammad. I'm calling you from Japan.
Abu, let me hear you.
You see, we the citizens ourselves, we have problems. I remember some time ago, you yourself on this very studio in the morning, when you were complaining about the behavior of our leaders. And a lot of people called, and none of the people side with you. They rather goes to defend the one who is rather mismanaging affairs, whilst you were rather drawing our attention to understand that these people are using a lot of things. We finance the fuel and all that, but nobody sides with you. This is some of the mentality we have. Even if you are in a trotro and the driver is misbehaving, the moment you speak, instead of your other colleagues to support you, they rather go against you. These are, you see, we have to go deep down to understand. I could remember the time Erika Martin was arrested. An MP called into Peace FM in the morning, and he said he wished that MP who has been arrested should be NDC MP, forgetting that that person is a member of Parliament of Ghana, irrespective of where he belongs to. And these are the people who are managing affairs. If you should have this understanding, whether MPP, CPP, member of Parliament arrested anywhere, he or she is a Ghanaian. When a government in power starts a project and he went into opposition, you can continue because that project belongs to the state. When you ignore it and you go into do another, I mean, what are we doing? So in my opinion, I think we have a very big problem. And people like you, Nana, who have the opportunity, who will speak on our behalf. But a lot of problems. You see, when you drive on the road, there is no road marking. In the darkness, in the night, you have to memorize the road in your head. Wherever you go, you have to know this is where I am, because there is a potholes everywhere. Meanwhile, people pay. You see, a big pothole on a highway is more dangerous than a side roadway, because that pothole can kill a lot of people. But they are there. You just from Akosombo to Temadis Highway, walk and see the road. You see, so honestly.
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you very much. David is in Medina. Hello, David. David?
Yes.
David, let me hear you.
Okay. Nana, I couldn't have agreed with you more on all that you said, but you know something? Ghana is a highly political nation. I mean, come to think of it, a government comes into power in January, and then within 100 days, you are expecting the government to do what? So your political, the next election starts to be counted the next day after swearing in. Why should it be so? Why should we do that? Sometimes I also blame the incumbent parties for influencing the opponent or their how they call them. Yes, their opponent, because the opposition parties. For instance, the president goes to do. Yes, it was during your tenure that a peace was restored to Gabon. But you don't go and make comments like it was within my tenure. There is a need for you to identify the sex or the works of your predecessors as well. And that's what we also see. So the present government comes to power, what his previous government was doing and stopped it on the way, you leave it behind. Why? Because you don't want the glory to go to that person. So why would the opponents also now support what you are also doing? So we need to know that. I mean, to me, Ghana is, I was telling a colleague the other day that, look, we can have the right economic figures, but there's no development in Ghana. But there's no development in Ghana. So we need to change this system entirely. Ghana should not be a highly political nation. What is right, let's all say is right. What is wrong, let's all just say it is wrong.
Thank you very much, my brother, for that. 0302-216-541. And this, I'm going straight to Akosomome. All the guys in my hood are calling. Mohammed is there. Hello, Mohammed.
Hello, Nana. Good evening.
Good evening, good evening, good evening.
It's nice calling to your program.
Yes. Coming from Akosombo, my heart is,
Yes. Opposition parties can do a lot to help in building Ghana. They don't need to be in power before they can help. Mm-hmm. One of the greatest things they can do is to serve as a check to the government in power. Then, always instead of criticizing, they can give alternative policies that they feel they can, if government uses instead of what government is relying on, that can be a help to citizenry. And aside that too, they can also, look for donor partners to help the country. They shouldn't be in government before, going out to look for partners to come and help. What you do to help whilst in opposition can even help you, come into power. Instead of always waiting that when we come into power, this is what we can do. Bring them in, let the investors come. You can sell Ghana out positively instead of negatively. Always in the media is Ghana this, Ghana that, Ghana that. We can talk positive about Ghana, and that, I believe, will sell the country. And this can help help our motherland. And this is the little I have. And your contribution to it is always great.
Thank you very much. But I'm wondering, maybe I wasn't fair, but to ask will government even take opposition's suggestion? But, well, then again, if they're able to carry us along, government would have to take it. I'm going straight to Agogo. And Nkansa is there. Hello, Nkansa.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
I think the conclusion, what I wanted to add is exactly what you added for your the concluding part of my brother who just left. Mm-hmm. One thing that we have here in Ghana is that even when the opposition comes out with very fine policies, very good advices to the incumbent government, they will never take it. That is one major challenge we are having in the country. Mm. So one thing that I will say is our politicians, if you continue to follow them, they are very wicked. One thing that we are not noticing is that even in some instances, I can remember one day on your program, Nana Akufo-Addo was going to a particular place to commission a project. And the information I had was that because he is coming there, the roads that were there people were working on the road. As if they are doing something there. Immediately he leaves, everything comes to a halt. So, I don't know. It's a way they are trying to deceive us. And if we, the citizens, are not becoming something, people who open our eyes, hey, my brother, things are not going to be well at all.
Thank you very much. In Latebio Koshi, Ebenezer is there. Hello, Ebenezer.
Yeah, hello, Nana.
Hi.
Okay, good evening, and then thanks for the nice program.
Thank you.
Yesterday at church, my pastor preached, and he said one thing. He said, in Ghana, we don't love Ghana. We don't love Ghana. So what we love is our parties. We love MPP and NDC than Ghana. We have just heard recently that the U.S. government says that about 7,000 Ghanaians are to be deported to Ghana. Government says that, no, wait a minute. We need to also verify that these 7,000 that you are saying are all Ghanaians. So that this is what we want to do. We also want to do a thorough check. But we don't have the opposition saying anything about it. If you have heard, is to condemn government. But then again, this is a case, a clear national case upon which they can say here, wait a minute, government, we support you in this. Go ahead with what you say you will do. You don't get them. Something happens at Ayawaso. This is not the first time. We've had one in Tripoli, Tennessee, and all of them. Now, this is the one that has happened. Government says that, okay, wait a minute, let us set a commission. We have seen and we have heard a few things, but the commission is going to unravel the issues, the underlying issues to it. It's perhaps not going to look at only Ayawaso, but it will look at the underlying issue that has involved all the by-elections and then come out with something that could help us going forward. You say you won't support it. What kind of opposition do we have in this country? Can we arrive at a consensus and say that no, we are interested in Ghana and the development of Ghana? I think that the point is worth discussing, and the opposition should think, because there's a lot that they can do to develop the country. Thank you very much.
I side with you, but I just don't want to think that it's just this opposition. This opposition thing happens to all of them when they get into opposition. So I agree with you, but I don't want you to narrow it down as to this opposition. They all act the same when they sort of get there. But Radi Mahood is Ajimai. Hello.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, Gunia.
This is a very serious and difficult issue. And the issue is our system has been polluted. The system has been, destroyed. You see, the political party lives in what I want to describe as dirty continuity. To the extent that when wrong is wrong, they don't want to say it's wrong. When a certain party is doing well, because they are in opposition, there's no way for them to comment the what's doing wrong. But the wrong thing, they rather, lift it up. As they are saying, in 1996, 2006, it happened. So if it happened this year, it's okay. And Ibn Chambers was in a certain party, and a certain political party, sent him to, represent Ghana in Commonwealth or something like that. Fine. Now we have guys who have, good certificates, they can work in our institutions. But because they don't belong to the party, which is a lady, they will never take you. Fine. If you have a political party having a propaganda secretary, which means there's nothing good they will say about the other party. And when another party also employs someone who belongs to different parties, they will pollute him to the extent that he's going to destroy the good things they are doing. So it goes on.
How are we ever going to have that turn around? TK is in Gimpa. So, hello, TK.
Hello, Nana. Good evening.
With the status quo, how then would it benefit us?
Nana, the problem we have is that we have seen politics as the end to everything. Our very existence depends on politics. Until we are able to divorce ourselves from that type of thinking, that we don't have to live for politics, it will continue this way. Because anybody who comes not only tries to butter the butter the part of the bread that enters their mouth, they try to even add marmalade to it. You see, for example, this Ayawaso thing. Look at initially how the director of communication for MPP spoke so passionately, haven't they seen talency and blah blah blah. My God, haven't we seen the crossroad shootings? Do we have to experience that again today? No, we need to move forward. But we have seen politics as the end to our livelihood, and the people who are supporting the politicians are afraid that when they empower them, they will come and take over from them. So instead of empowering them to be sustaining, to have their own employment, they employ them to depend on the politicians. So they have to guard and guide their position and the position of the politicians. That is why the status quo is still the same.
John is in Accra. Hello, John.
Good evening.
Good evening, John.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm good. It's been a while. John, reposition yourself. Your line I just lost you there.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's a good line, yeah.
Yes, I was saying that I would like to sound a bit different from other people.
Okay.
I've been listening to your show for a very, very long time. Mm-hmm. And anytime you raise an issue, a very critical issue, people will be calling in and condemning, like trying to, saying that things are not going well. But my big question is, if things are going wrong, who are those doing it? If all of us are claiming to be holy, we are angels. Whenever we call, oh, I don't know about it, oh, me, I don't do that. So who are those doing it? Where can we find them? If every one of us is going to be a saint, please, let's tell ourselves the truth. The same people that are talking will be the same people that will go behind and do the wrong things and come out in the morning and freshen up and pretend to be angels. Please, we the blacks, let's change our attitude. It's too bad. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And in Spintex is Francis. Hello, Francis.
Hello, Nana. Good evening.
Good evening, Francis.
How are you doing?
I'm very well, Francis. Good to hear from you.
Good. Is it not possible to have your program at least maybe 2-3 times a week? We listen to all kinds of things on radio, and at least even one more day will really help. Is it possible?
Well, I'm sure the powers that be are listening, so who knows? Let's see.
Okay. We'll hope and pray.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. That's why you called. Oh, Francis. 0302216541. Abna is in Medina. Hello, Abna.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening, Abna.
Nana?
Yes.
I'm sure if you carefully paid attention to the college, you can even discern from those who are NPP calling and those who are Ghanaians are so entrenched with these two parties that everything that we do is NPP, NPP.
Oh, Abna, I lost you. Hello? Oh, dear. I think. Hello?
I feel so bad. I said, so this minister, did you think through? When I hear an NDC MP commenting on an issue, I feel so ashamed sometimes when I hear both parties commenting on issues. Sometimes you feel so bad as if they aren't Ghanaians. So is it all about NDC, NPP in Ghana? I sometimes feel so bad. Is it when they are opposition, they sing the same song, the things that they see everything wrong about? You see them come into party and they are doing the same thing. Anything in Ghana is now NDC, NPP. I sometimes feel so bad. I can't even. I sometimes tell myself, so if you don't belong to NDC, you don't belong to NPP, where do we belong to? There's something that has to be done because this opposition authority that we are witnessing them condemning the party, the government, they are doing this, they are doing this, they are doing this. Let's wait, and God willing, they win and they come to party. You see them doing the same, and then these MPP people will also be doing crying in the opposition. They will be saying this. So I'm not sure the opposition can do any credible thing for Ghana. I believe Ghanaians should now advise ourselves. Sometimes when the day comes that they put the ballot box there and nobody goes to queue and vote for them, I'm sure they'll take a queue out of it because they are taking us for granted. I'm tired of Ghana. Seriously, Nana. Thank you.
Thank you, Abna, and good evening. Paul is on the line. Hello, Paul.
Hi, Nana.
Hi.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Okay. Just I want to make 2 quick points.
Okay.
On the topic you have raised.
Yeah. How do we get the opposition to work for us, get benefit out of the opposition parties?
Okay. First of all, we have to look at the education of the populace.
Mm-hmm.
How do they scientifically interrogate the policies and the propaganda that comes to them? So education is one, and then 2, maybe before even education, how do people who want to vote engage themselves in the government, such that they are so much informed and can tell a bad leader from a good leader? I think these are 2 critical points because before I can make a decision, I have to have some level of information, isn't it?
Yeah.
If I don't have that information, I can make a very bad decision. So I think citizen engagement is very, very critical to making sure that we get the opposition doing what we want them to do. That's one. And then two, I think your topic should be situated in a certain multi-party political system where we have, say, for our purposes, two parties vying for just a position. It will always come down to, let me hold the other whilst I project myself. It will naturally happen. So the question we have to be asking ourselves is in this competition, in this multi-party system, where only one thing is being vied for, will there ever be a situation where one party will praise the other and project the other for the other to go for what he or she or the other party is also vying for?
You see, so that's what I'm asking. That is opposition's main objective just to come into power or to be like an alternative government? That's what I'm trying to find out.
Yeah, you made a great point when you said we want the opposition to give us policies that are scientific based, that are research based. As we speak, talking about the NDC as the largest opposition party, who is going to finance that hardcore scientific research policy based on research? Who is going to do that? Is it some other billionaire party financier that's going to pump money into this so that they can get the data that is convincing? And then when they get to power, you will have to do all kinds of things to pay this financier back. Are we having a conversation around political party financing? There are lots of critical issues that we need to be talking about. And I feel we should elevate. For instance, one of the things I want Ghana Connect to discuss, and probably you yourself should consider, is the question of are politicians made bad, or it is the system that makes them so?
Well, I think they've discussed it. Some think it's the system, some think it's the politicians. If you ask me, I'll say the system. But Modaifa is on the phone. Hello, Modaifa.
Hello?
Mojifa.
Yes.
Mojifa. Sorry, I said your name wrong. Yes. Forgive me.
Mojifa. Yes.
Mojifa. Yeah, let me hear you.
Oh, okay, Nana. Mm-hmm. Good evening.
Good evening.
Actually, Mojifa calling from Japan. The whole thing is that, the lines have been drawn. So everybody should be in his or her track. Mm-hmm. What I mean is that democracy is there. People who are not qualified to be at a particular place, to influence a particular corner, they are being influenced in those places. Education should toe its own line. Chieftaincy should toe its own line. Ministry should toe its own line. Judges should toe their own line. Security service should toe their own line. Why should politicians be influencing all the corners? That is my question. That is why Ghana is suffering. Until we all take our line, toe our line, be in our track, I'm afraid this is where we will be. But I pray that one day God will touch in the heart of our politicians so that all of us will be on our lane. And in that case, that is when we will move forward. Farmers, even farmers, it's not raining well, but farmers are suffering. Politicians will come back and influence them, that they are going to give them fertilizers and other stuff. And they will relax. They will not go and farm again because they know they will come and give them something. In fact, Nana, some of you are very influential, I know. And I know those are some of the things we're putting across.
Thank you very much, my brother. Nana, opposition parties in Ghana do anything for the citizen. Literally don't, and citizens literally don't work. Have no alternative budgets, etc. They stay in a position accusing incumbent, fighting them till they are voted into power. Then they come in to enhance their lifestyle and do the same things as those voted out, ignoring the voters. I've maintained NDC and MPP of Ghana have selfish interests, their personal interests. Sad, we've been alternating the two parties and the country isn't moving forward. Nana from Spinktest Road, but I'm going to Pram Pram. Shem is there.
Hello, Nana.
Hello, Shem. Let me.
I like to.
Good.
Yeah, I like to congratulate you on this program. As a kind of other guy who said you need to have it more than just the day. Because we, the public, have so much in us, sometimes our voices need to be heard. For me, what I'll contribute to this is, we are Ghanaians, we are not serious. How can you change between two parties and expect neither of them to be better than the other when they constantly just backbite. They don't support each other. They are just trying to undermine each other. One is trying to bring down the other. So as the other one seems as if I'm better than you. I have this thing I've always been telling my friends. I say, until Ghanaians, let's move from our monotonous inclination to belong to a certain party due to tribe, color, or race. And let's get Pension Ghana working again, because she's ours. That's all we have. And we are here switching parties, NDC, NPP. Why not give the others a try as well for them to make errors? Let us put these two on the sideline. Let them go sit down and watch. Now let them undermine whatever they think they have, and let us see. Come on, sometimes you feel it's like nobody cares about Ghana. And we need this program to us, our voices will be heard. If you are fed up, today NPP, today NDC, today NPP, today NDC. That is all I'll say. It's appalling, it's sad.
Thank you very much. And I think that's my opinion. Very soon, coming to the next election, we'll be asking for a vote bank. And once we get the bank in order, we'll put some policies in place and say, look, if you can fulfill these policies, we'll give you a vote bank. But Ernest is on the phone. Hello, Ernest.
Yeah, Nana.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, my brother.
How are you, Nana?
I'm great. Yourself?
I'm blessed.
Let me hear you.
Yeah, Nana, week in, week out, you keep raising very valid topics and themes that deal with the developmental issues we are having in this country. And I beg to say that it's beginning to make some of us tired, because the issues never end. And I beg to say that you, Nana, and myself, we are all part of the problem. If the opposition in this country is not living up to expectation, what is the citizenry doing? It just takes me back to my development communications class, where I tell my lecturer that it looks like a hopeless situation. Nana, you yourself, with the position you have, with the opportunity you have in the studios of Joy FM, can't you rally the rest of us around you to forge a certain path? Occupy Ghana was doing a great job. They had this Red Friday thing, and everybody was following them. We're all enjoying it. Suddenly, power shifted hands, and they are quiet. We're not hearing of them. It took one young man to start the Arab Spring. Even though they've not had the level of change they wanted, but they had some level of change. But Nana, with the clouds you hold, you carry, it looks like you're also scared that when you stand out there and say that the common man, come, let's parties come into power and they cannot boast of one sector that they have thoroughly worked on. So maybe the transport sector or agricultural sector. They are taking each one of these sectors in bits and pieces. At the end of the day, they can't boast of anything. Nana, I want you to take a certain stand that you are not only going to come on radio and open the telephone for us to call in and just talk shop, we complain, and that ends it. We need action now. Rwanda had to start from somewhere, and today everybody's talking about them. If the opposition is not living up to expectation, what of civil society? It looks like everybody has a paymaster.
I have taken up the challenge, my brother, but Richard is in Kwashima. Richard, you have 1 minute.
Hi, Nana.
Richard, you have 1 minute. Let me hear you.
Yeah, thank you. Nana, it's not as if that we didn't have it. We've had it before. I think Dr. Baumia gave us lectures on the CD. It's a very short point I want to make. Mm-hmm. Now, what he said, I don't know whether when they get into power, they do something else. But what he said, we listen to all his series, his lectures. Today, my question is, how much is the CD to $1 now? It's as simple as that. He just gave us if
the fundamentals are shaky, the CD, the dollar will expose you, but blah, blah, blah. Oh, well, my senior brother's in the house. Belay. He came in late because he knows when he enters the studio, I'll let him give a comment. And I know he has a comment or two on this. Well, folks, how do we get the opposition to also work for us? Because this is Ghana, and we must get it to work. But next week, I have a bombshell. Oh, next week, I have a bombshell. You don't want to mix next week's opinion. In fact, it's so much of a bombshell, I don't know if I can release it yet. But you must tune in next week's opinion. My goodness. But thank you very much. My name is Nana Sakwao. The news bulletin is up. And right after the news bulletin, B-Lane is coming to overdrive you home while you are thinking that how is it that will make the opposition also work for us.